This is Governor Bob Ehrlich. Good day, doctors.
George Allen here. Good day, doctors.
Go!
You're watching Dr. Politics.
They're Dr. Politics. He's the one to see. Breaking down the news with sharp analysis. From Congress halls to campaign trails, he tells the truth when all else fails. They're Dr. Politics. Dr. Politics. Exposing the spin, the lies and tricks. Dr. Politics. Dr. Politics. He calls it straight, no politics as usual. Love from backroom deals to primetime fights. He sheds some light and sets things right. Debates, elections, policy. He cuts through all the DC sleaze. Oh, Dr. Politics. He's got the facts. Dr. Politics. No holding back. Dr. Politics. Go away. Dr. Politics, he's got the facts. Dr. Politics, no holding back. Dr. Politics.
Hello, it is Friday, March 30th, almost that Holy Week, 2026. Busy week this week. We're still engaged in the bombing campaign of the liberation of Iran from the radical Shia Muslim mullahs that are running the show there. So Dave,
Yep.
the price of gas, it's up. But it's
Yep.
not as much as it was when Joe Biden was president. Do you find it a little bit hypocritical of the media? I wish Don were on to
Oh, yeah.
talk about this. During with Joe Biden, they made every excuse in the book for a $5 gas.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
was-
Someone should point that out. By the way, as a quick note, just to check how you're doing with without the Shamrock Shake.
I'm doing just
You going
fine.
through withdrawals?
No, nothing like that.
Well, yeah, I agree, but people have already sort of forgotten about Biden, I guess, and they're quick to want to try to blame Trump. And while I agree with you, it's a good talking point to say, look, it was higher under Biden. Yeah, I guess I don't know if that'll go too far, but
Well, I mean,
yeah.
here's the thing. They'll come down soon.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, the other thing is, speaking of gas prices, the stock market's taken a major hit too.
Yes,
But
it has.
I'm not super worried about it because I think it'll still, in the long run, I think it'll still be better off by, you get rid of that regime. I think we're going to be much better off. But
Remember, it's until the end of the year. It'll catch up. It'll go back to over 50,000 where it was.
yeah, I think so too. But it has been nerve-wracking to see my retirement accounts drop.
I tell you, just don't look at it. I don't.
Yeah, maybe that's best. Yeah, you're probably right. I shouldn't. But it was. I will say this though, it has been wonderful though to see it going up like it has. So that was really nice. But
Very true.
it'll
Very
come back.
true.
Yeah, but it'll come back. But and not to get on an aside, but I understand now the wealth effect. They call it the wealth effect because you feel much richer when you see your account, when you see your retirement. And I don't have that much money, but when you see the retirement account grow so much,
Yep.
you're not rich, but you start to feel it. So
Yeah.
and it's that wealth effect, that in real estate, but that wealth effect is what really I think keeps the economy going, because people are going to feel much better. That's why people say, well, the stock market doesn't matter that much. Well, it does, because it deals with people's confidence. And as they feel more confident, they're going to open up more with spending.
Very true. Very true. I mean, I don't know if it's like, yeah, I mean, that's very true. Finance, And I think we're getting to, this is just a temporary thing. People shouldn't be panicking. Drive less, for crying out. Just drive a
Yeah.
little less. Uh, it's, not the end of the world, and just drive a little less than you normally would. If that's the price of gas is really hurting you,
Yeah.
thereby.
Well, I don't know how much higher it'll go, but I wouldn't think all that much. And we start getting a little bit of good news, and it'll come down.
Oh
So
yeah, well, I mean, they're going to be. Look, Iran can't keep the strait shut down much longer. Frankly, they've got no navy, they've got no air force. Even their missiles are depleting pretty fast,
yeah.
as are their drones.
Well, I mean, I would think other countries are going to be hurting more than we are because we don't get that much from.
Yeah, China. Look at China. They are.
Yeah.
They depend on this oil more than we do.
Yeah, that's right.
And this was a brilliant chess move by taking the oil away from China, from Venezuela, and
Yes.
look what's happening in Cuba now.
Yep. Yep.
Cuba.
I think Cuba's gone any day now. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think I don't think they're going to hold on long. I think if Trump's smart, he really pushed out. And actually, Rubio probably has time for another job. Make him the governor
General,
Cuba.
Yes, or South Florida. The
I'll
governor
tell
of the
you,
state of South Florida.
this may shock.
Cuba would just naturally gravitate to America.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking of the 51st state, Cuba. I'm partially joking, but think about it. What a great state it could be. You got great real estate there. I mean, you really do. And
remember, pre-revolution, Cuba was kind of like the Paris of the Caribbean, so to speak.
Yeah.
Havana. You had casinos, you had all the nightlife and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, no, Cuba would be really awesome. I mean, I think it would really be an awesome place. So. Yeah, Cuba would be great. So, and it would add to our baseball prowess. We start getting some of those Cuban players. So
that is true.
I'm just being funny, but one way or the other, both Cuba and Venezuela, I think, can be very prosperous countries. And
Venezuela was a very prosperous country until what do you call it, Maduro?
Chavez came. I agree with you. I think, I mean, Venezuela really now it has such potential, though. Very few countries have the type of potential I think of Venezuela. I think Iran as well. I mean, Iran, the Iranian people are very smart. They got great resources. That can be a very prosperous country. In fact, if we didn't have the '79 Khomeini revolution, I think today Iran would be a very strong country, very prosperous.
They were very prosperous before the revolution, under the Shah. They were a very prosperous country. PBS did a documentary, funded by you and me, the taxpayers, on Iran, and it was really good, actually. It was very good.
Yeah,
I must say. I think Iran, and a lot of these places, I think,
I
think we're doing, it's like, and I think this will also usher in a whole new era of peace in the Middle East.
Yeah. And the other thing, and I would say this, that I think Iran has much more potential than, say, Iraq. I mean, I think Iran really can be a world power. So anyway, we'll see.
Yeah, but I think, we've got that also. We've got a lot of flurry of activities right now. Evidently, the liberal media is making hay about there was what do you call? Is you got what is it? I got distracted by an email. But I mean, we had, the Pentagon, there was some sort of the story about them ordering lobster,
Oh yeah, that was for the soldiers. Does anyone really think that Pete Hegseth consumed all that lobster? I mean, come on, it's a joke.
But I mean, these people that are running with it. I mean, then you got, and by the way, and now we have the Democrats are trotting up Project 2029.
Okay.
Yes, and it's also and there they want to round up Republicans and put them in internment camps in Project 2029.
Mhm.
See, we can do the same thing. They made up stuff that was in Project 2025. We can make up stuff about what's in Project 2029. They want to arrest Republican lawmakers. They want to put them all in put them in internment camps.
The key is we keep them out of power, and at least if we can keep the Senate, they will be. We'd have something there.
Yes.
But the Senate looks a little concerning. But
Well, I think John Cornyn has to win that primary, the runoff.
Well, and the thing about Trump is he's in a tough. And I've written a column on it. But the thing about Trump is, it's almost getting a little late for him. I mean, if he's going to endorse him, he really needs to do it as of yesterday, really, or very.
The primary is in May, right? The runoff is in May or April.
I think so. Yeah, May. I think so. It just seems to me he probably needs to get behind Cornyn soon. It was a dumb move. We should have we shouldn't have had the challenge anyway. I mean, Cornyn is more the moderate school, but he hasn't stood in the way of the MAGA movement. So, therefore you got to just back him. Even though
here's the thing, Cornyn, he was always a conservative member of the Senate just because, he's a conservative. Paxton brings a lot of baggage to town.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He's got the bimbo eruptions. He's got a whole host of things. Ethical.
Yeah, well, the scandal, they tried to impeach him. They did impeach him. He wasn't convicted in the state Senate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other issue is going to be Maine, and can Susie Collins hang on?
She's gonna. Susan, I'm not worried about Susan Collins. She's gonna hold on to that seat. She doesn't.
I hope so. But with Plattner, more dirt's coming out about him. And of course, he had the Nazi tattoos. Remember that story? Yeah,
And Susan Collins, she's a retail politician. She knows, because I actually was part of her team in '96 when she ran. Yeah. And she'll go to every small town in Maine. And she will talk to everyone at the parades, and everybody just loves Susie Collins,
Yeah, good. Well, we need.
And that's one thing. A lot of national Republicans need to understand that. She votes. She keeps our majority because she. Remember Bill Cohen? He was no firebrand conservative either.
Oh, no, not
the other senator from Maine.
Yep, Olympia Snowe. Remember Olympia Snowe? Yeah,
she's another one, and
it's a tough state. Yeah, it's a blue state.
And George Mitchell was no radical leftist either.
Okay, yeah. So I hope she hangs on, but we'll need her to hang on. But I agree, the Paxton thing I don't get. I mean, we're just gambling too much with. You need to keep your incumbent. And it's a risk and money. All the money we're spending on this campaign, we really shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, because we've got big races. We got our friend Chris Burnett's race in Maryland 6.
Yeah,
which we need to really try and flip.
Yeah, I agree.
North Carolina, I am a little worried about that Senate seat there in North Carolina.
That's another one. Yeah. Watley's a good candidate, but the Democrat, I guess, is well known and liked. I forgot who it was. Cooper?
He's the governor. Yeah.
So we'll see. And here's the thing: it's a 6-year term. He's going to be every bit as liberal as Bernie Sanders. There's going to be no difference. Even though he comes across,
Rory Cooper is a liberal. I mean, he's thank God North Carolina, both state houses have nice, healthy majorities of Republicans in both houses. That can keep a lot of the stuff in check on the crazy. They're a big check on the crazy there.
Well, thank goodness. But it's like Abigail Spanberger's always thought of like this moderate or something. She's just as far left as Sanders.
Or Wes Moore. She's just as lefty as Wes Moore.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's just as bad as Wes Moore. I mean,
she just took a look at all the taxes Wes Moore raised in Maryland last year. Now she wants to raise them in Virginia now. The same ones.
Horrible. Yeah, she's horrible.
She wants like a Netflix tax. She wants a tax on
they have a sleep tax. You hear about the sleep tax? On the mattresses, $20 tax.
Yeah, I heard. Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Why? Because I know they're going to say, it's to pay for recycling of those mattresses.
But it's not necessary because, we already have a system anyway. And like you said, you buy the mattress. Who knows when you're ever going to get rid of that mattress.
Mhm.
I've seen mattresses for years, decades. You know,
Well, they say they do say every 5 years or something like that, or 10 years you should replace the mattress.
Do you really think people do? I find that hard to believe that people are doing that.
I think people when they move out of their house to another house,
Yeah.
they don't take the mattress with them. They buy new mattresses. That's when they do it.
Okay. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But
I could be wrong, but I don't know. Susan or one of our many viewers will let
yeah.
us know. Chime in.
No. Anyway, but so well, we'll see. I think we can still win in Texas because Tallarico is such a nut. But it's gonna be tough, even though.
Oh, he's a vegan. Not a, it's
Oh yeah. I
it-
wrote a
he's not-
column.
he's-
By the way, I have a column up about him the other day and his bad theology. So yeah, check
oh
that
yeah,
out.
that was very bad. By the way, happy birthday to Jim Martin of 60 plus.
Oh
He
wow.
turns 90 today.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
They always said he looked like Ted Turner.
Yes, he did. And I remember there was somebody made a joke. They go, "You should tell Ted Turner, hey, stop impersonating me."
Yeah. Well, that was always the joke that, and I had heard from people that worked 60s plus and worked for Jim Martin that he'd show up at CNN or something to be on the show, and the staff would be alerted. They'd think it's Ted Turner in the building.
Yeah. And not only that, here's the other thing about 60 plus, great organization. If you're
Yeah.
a senior, you need to join them.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Jeff Fredericks tried to do it a few years ago. Remember, he tried to oust Jim.
Yeah.
Over him and his wife tried to oust Jim.
Yeah. Yes.
And luckily, thank God, Jim is still there.
What happened with that? They failed. I take it.
Yes, they did. They started. Now they have a brewery out in Woodbridge or something like that, or Hoodbridge, as we like to call it.
Are they still married? I wonder.
They probably are.
All right.
I don't know. But yeah, she, Jim is still at the helm of 60 plus. It's a great thing.
That's good. Yeah. Good old Jim. Yeah, that's right. And I'm sorry, I guess we expressed our condolences, David Keene's passing.
Yes. And we have another great that passed away today in Chuck Norris, Ranger.
Yeah, that's right.
Walker
Yeah,
passed away.
Yeah, I saw that. Chuck wasn't all that old, but still.
Well, he was in his 80s. He was 86.
Oh, was he? Did he make 80? I didn't know he quite made 80.
86.
86. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I didn't know he's that old.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Chuck was great. Yeah, Chuck Norris was a legend. I didn't know he was sick, but yeah, he was a legend.
Yeah, I don't think he was. I don't know if he was sick or what, but yeah.
Well, yeah, he was something. Remember, he used to do those ads for that home gym. What was that called?
Bowflex.
No, Bowflex. It was, and I had the gym. It was like a one gym or something. It was called. It was like a sliding board with pulleys. And
Yeah.
stuff. He and Christy Brinkley maybe did those ads. It was Christy Brinkley as well.
Yes, I think you are right, Christy Brinkley. Yes.
Yeah, it's just. But yeah, Chuck Norris was a great. So he was our version of Bruce Lee, maybe.
Hey, John Engler's on the board of 60 plus.
Well, not the North Carolina senator.
No, this is the former Republican governor of Michigan.
Oh, Engler, John Engler.
Yeah, John Engler. Yeah.
Yeah. I know John Engler. I've met him a number of times.
Yeah, you know who else was on their board for the longest time was Pat Boone. He still is.
Really? Okay, yeah, good old Pat. Is Pat
still,
Boone, I think, is he still with us? He's got to be. He's got to be into his 90s.
Or more.
Yeah.
I mean, Dick Van Dyke just turned. Dick Van Dyke just turned. What do you call? He turned what?
He's
100.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Yeah, they've been around for 35 years, 60 plus.
Wow.
They'll be around for 35 more.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Jim Martin's group. Yeah, well, Jim's still going strong. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And Ed Fulner passed. Remember Ed Fulner passed not too long
Yes,
ago,
he
right?
did. Yes, the head of Heritage. Yes.
Yeah, Ed Fulner.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I remember Ed back in the days. Yeah, he
And
was
then we
tough.
also had what do you call? We've got coming. We have, a lot of the, like I'm one of we got this new writer. His dad and I actually were interns for Alphonse the model back in the day.
Wow.
His son Kip Stone is working an article on the G3 conservatives. Like the pieces that I've seen, it's pretty good. He starts off as how his grandparents were like Eisenhower, Goldwater, Nixon people.
Yeah.
He goes, my dad's generation was Reagan. And now who are we? Are we MAGA? Are we neocon? It's pretty good.
Well, yeah, I mean, I came from sort of Reagan Democrats.
Mhm,
Mine were Reagan Democrats.
mhm.
So, and it's weird because if you think about it, um, it's hard to judge based on parents and grandparents because I know a lot of people who are Republicans whose parents weren't Republicans, grandparents weren't Republicans. And my
Yep.
guess is you have a lot of people on the left whose families were country club type Republicans, Rockefeller Republicans. Today, they're probably
Mhm.
Democrats.
No, I'd
I
like to
mean,
not think so.
I
I'd like
mean,
to not think that they are
the,
Rockefeller
the,
Republicans are still with
the
us.
two the two Bush daughters, Jenna and Barbara, their grandfather was a moderate senator from Connecticut. My guess is they're both Democrats.
No, one of us married to John Hager's son.
Yeah, but still, I doubt either one are. I think
Hager
one of them.
was
I think one of them did come out and endorse Kamala Harris. I think Barbara, the one of them did endorse.
the one that works for NBC. Probably did that.
Yeah,
No, but I mean, John Hager
I
was
like
the
John.
most.
Great man, and I met Henry. Great guy. I just don't know.
I remember John when he ran for governor. The conservatives were all backing him. Paul, David
Oh,
Keene.
yeah, that's right.
They did not support Mark Early. They supported
Yeah.
John Hager for that.
Well, one of the key reasons, and I know this will get into the weeds on Virginia politics, but the problem that they had with Early was he had good, strong union ties, and they were
Yes.
worried about, yeah.
Yeah, I
They were
remember
worried about his support for right to work, which,
Dick
by the way,
Dingman.
next year Democrats are going to get rid of in the state. But
That is sad but true. Do you guys have an election for the state house this November?
No, they got 2 years.
So they're going to be able to do that.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what the backlash is like, and we'll see what taxes she signs. I don't know if she's going to
Mhm.
sign all the 50 some odd tax increases, but the thing is, we'll start getting a sense of what people are they going to get buyer's remorse or not. We'll find out. We'll start to get a sense of that after she starts signing some of these bills. And after you
Well,
get these dog
yeah.
walking taxes and all these taxes start hitting people, who knows?
They're going to get buyer's remorse next year when they have to pay these taxes.
Yeah. That's a better point. That's true.
And basically, we had we're about to get to crossover in our state house in Maryland.
All right.
And they're all touting, oh, we didn't raise any fees or any tax. Well, you raised enough fees and taxes the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So you're skipping this year. Next year, you're going to raise tax. This is just an election year ploy.
Yeah.
And Westmore is very bummed that he couldn't get redistricting done in such a blue state.
Yeah, but all they'd have is one person to draw out, right? And Andy Harris.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
unlike your state where you got to draw out 5 people, right?
Yeah, because we have fair districts now, 6-5, Republican, Democrat. They want to make it 10-1.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Again, she's taking notes from Westmore.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, she's
I
every
think-
bit as bad.
I really hope the ballot initiative fails, frankly, or
I do too. Well, we're working for that. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
or maybe the U.S. Supreme Court will step in.
Well, the other thing is the gun bills that they're now passing as well. I think we can maybe challenge in the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they're doing a lot of crazy stuff. I don't know what happened to Virginia, the state of Governor Allen. I mean, you guys had some great governors. You had Governor Allen. You had before him, you had Earl Warren. You
Yeah,
had Dalton, who was even before Warren.
yeah.
Actually,
We
no, I think
had
maybe Warren and
even
Dalton.
Bob McDonnell was still good, and Youngkin was very good. Had Youngkin been able to run again, I think he would have won. But
And Jim Gilmore was really good too. Remember, you had that dynasty going there
yeah, yeah.
because you had Jim. Then you had when Jim got elected, he had Mark Early and Jerry Kilgore.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
And that was a clean sweep.
Well, it was Hager Early were his running mates,
Yes,
and then Kilgore came in, or
Kilgore came in as
Kilgore
lieutenant
was.
governor when you had a Democrat governor. I want to say,
Yeah, that's right. That's correct. Yeah, when Warner had, then we had Kilgore. Correct. Yeah.
yeah. And I don't know what it was, what the fascination is Mark Warner that everybody,
I don't know. Yeah, he was thought of as the more moderate Democrat, and maybe briefly he was, but now he's no different than Elizabeth Warren. I mean, there's
yeah,
not really big difference.
and then you had Chuck Robb,
Yeah,
who
back
got,
in the day, Chuck, I think, is still alive. He's still kicking.
yeah,
He's got to be 90. He's got to be pushing 90.
he's got to be, he was governor before Governor Allen.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And after him, we had Jerry Beliles after him, or was
Yep.
that Doug Wilder?
Yep, Jerry Beliles and then Wilder.
So you
Yep.
had like 12 years of Democrats.
Yeah, we did.
Well, actually, you ask a Virginia Democrat, they'll say Doug Wilder is more or less a right-wing Republican extremist now.
Yeah, Wilder's good. Yeah, Wilder was fine. Was fine for a Democrat. He was fine governor. Yeah, it wasn't bad. He was fiscally
Even Jerry
good.
Beliles, I mean, if you look at damage goes, he didn't do that much damage.
Yeah, the most damaging would have been Northam, and then McAuliffe was bad, and Spanberger's going to be maybe even more damaging than those two combined.
And then you also had, I would tell you dodged a bullet when Mary Sue Terry was going to run for governor.
Yeah, well, she did. Allen beat her.
Yes, and she would have been dreadful. Mary Sue Terry, because she's from Northern Virginia.
Yeah, I mean, originally from Southern Virginia, but
yeah, she represented Northern Virginia,
up.
though. Yeah, she represented something in Fairfax County, I want to say, right?
Well, she was attorney general for 2 terms before she ran for governor.
Yeah.
She was thought of as unbeatable, but Allen beat her, and it wasn't close. Right.
And then there was what was the woman that George beat in the primary for the general when he was running for Congress? Beverly Byrne?
No, a woman by the name of Kay Slaughter.
Slaughter, yeah.
Byrne was in Northern Virginia. She, I don't know I guess she's still with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you got Audrey Moore. She's still around and kicking.
No, I think Audrey passed away, but yeah, Tom Davis beat her. I think so, yeah.
Oh, no, I know Tom beat her, but what's funny is Audrey had a commercial when she was running against Tom for chairman.
Yeah.
Her commercial was, "I'm just not another pretty face." And I'm like, she looked a little bit like Helen Bentley.
Yeah, she also looked like Helen Roper from Three's Company.
Yes, that's true too, Helen. But and then we had but I mean we've had and what do you call? But I mean we had also over like Virginia. I mean you guys have always been kind of like, even when you had Democrat governors, they at least cared about the state. Yeah. But after your last several Democrat governors, they don't give a damn about the state. They care about they all do what their Democrat overlords in Washington tell them to do.
Yeah, and they're carpetbaggers in a way. Abigail Spanberger, I'm originally from New Jersey. Of course, Warner was from Indiana, I believe. McAuliffe from New York. I mean, yeah, they're not even really Virginians.
Well, I mean, George Allen was from California, but he lived in Virginia.
Well, and he went to high school here, but yeah. I mean, born in Whittier.
I want to say Tom Davis is also like not from here. He's like from California, also, I think.
Yeah, from the Dakotas, and then.
Is he the Dakotas?
Yeah.
He could have a much better career in the Dakotas as a Republican.
I guess that's true. You're right. Yeah. But
he could have been. He could be DHS secretary because he could have been governor.
Yeah, that's
instead
true.
of Christy Noem.
Yeah. Well, I think Tom had a good political career anyway, so I don't think he's too worried about it now.
Yeah, I think he won. I think what is it? I remember what was the year he was going to run for governor, but decided not to.
I don't know.
Was it 8 or was it 9? 2009. He was going to run. He was thinking of running for
I think he was
governor.
going to run for the Senate, but Gilmore ran instead against Warner.
No, but I thought he also wanted to be governor because I remember Mark Levin would always go off on Tom Davis.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember, but yeah, I'm sure he's always wanted to higher office.
I mean, Tom was basically the architect for the contract with America. Like,
yeah, but I would also point out that being chairman of the board of supervisors is pretty damn powerful because Fairfax County is the biggest county in the state, the richest county in the state. So
not anymore. Isn't Loudon more rich?
I don't think so. I think Fairfax is still probably top Loudon. Loudon's fast growing, but I mean, Fairfax County has over 1 million people.
Yeah, true.
So I mean, Fairfax County is pretty darn big.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean,
I thought Loudon was the richest county in America.
Yeah, probably. I'm just thinking population's still not caught up, even though it's fast growing.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened to Loudon? There are a few factors. One thing, all my life, we always celebrated how Loudon County is the fastest growing county in America and all. But you know what? That wasn't good because what happened is it was growing fast, but all these Democrats were moving in.
Mm-hmm.
And then turned the county, which was once solidly red, to blue.
Oh, yeah. Loudon, Prince William, both have gone.
Yeah. They're both pretty bad now.
I mean, and we see that in Maryland too. Let me tell you, Frederick County had no Democrats outside of the city limits of Frederick.
Yeah.
Anne Arundel County, a solid red county. It still is fairly solid.
Yeah.
I mean, even my county, we had a number of state delegates and senators representing Montgomery County. We had like 3 or 4 Republicans on our county council at one point.
Yeah.
The first county executive in Montgomery County was a Republican, Jim Gleason.
Yeah.
And what's happening is like Frederick County is getting bluer. I mean, Baltimore County's red, but it's more purplish than red now. But Baltimore County's got a unique story. They're getting better with Republican registrations. At least that was the fact about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And East Baltimore, which used to be represented by Democrats, is now solidly run by Republicans. Senator Salling, Delegate Metzger,
Well,
then they've got a great guy named J.D. Urbach who's running for county council that represents that area. He'll be great as a councilman. He'll get elected. And this, if things go well for Baltimore County, they could have a Republican majority on the council for the first time, I think, since I can remember.
Well, that'd be great.
Even when Spiro Agnew was county executive, he didn't have a majority of Republicans. But we've also had this week, we've got more and more Democrats, they still want to keep DHS shut down. And they still haven't funded DHS. And it's like, I'm getting tired of these little games that are playing. Now they're playing with the security of the American people. We're at war with Iran. Joe Biden kept the back door open. Who knows how many Iranian agents are in the United States right now?
Yeah, I agree.
Knows?
I haven't taken more of a hit because of this. Democrats should really take a major hit for this, but
no, but they're not. It's like, you know what the problem is? The rest of the government's working. So everyone's like, oh, who cares?
Yeah.
I'm getting my paycheck, never mind the TSA workers aren't getting paid.
Right. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So I think it's time we were to, Chuck Schumer needs to open up DHS. They wanted Kristi Noem gone. She's gone.
Yeah.
Open up DHS now.
Yeah.
And it looks like the current, basically the nominee is going to sail through. He got out of committee today, so we have our.
Yeah, so he
Has the
should be.
governor appointed a replacement for his Senate seat yet? Has it been? Have they put someone in for his?
I don't think so yet.
Okay.
No, I don't think so yet.
Yeah, I remember when Don Nichols used to represent Oklahoma.
Yeah, I think he's still alive. Maybe they get him back.
That'd be great to see Don Nichols back in the Senate. I had him speak at GW when I was there.
Okay, yeah, and he's good, solid conservative, Don Nichols.
Yeah, I mean it's Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, remember they had the conservative Democrat David Boren. Remember David Boren?
I remember David Bourne. I did not like him.
Nah.
He wasn't that conservative.
No, but for a Democrat, yeah.
For a Democrat, William Donald Schaefer is like a right-wing ideologue. Former Governor Harry Hughes is a right-wing ideologue. That's today's Democrat.
Remember Jim Inhofe?
Yeah, Jim Inhofe. Yeah,
I think didn't Mark Wayne Mullen take his seat?
Yes, he did.
Inhofe's seat.
Yeah.
And you remember Dave McCurdy?
Doc Coburn used to be a senator from Oklahoma.
Yeah,
And I met Doc Coburn when he was in the House. And this is like in 96. GoPac used to do a weekly conference call with all the candidates.
Yeah.
And he was on there and he was really good. Yeah, Doc Coburn was a great guy.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Died too young.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, wasn't who was the guy on ET? I thought was an Oklahoman. Was it Schwartz or God, who was the other guy? I thought might have been from Oklahoma.
What do you mean, the guys from downstairs? The
NET. Yeah, the talent. One of the guys I thought worked for Largent. Who's the guy that worked for Largent?
Brad Keena. He's
that's right.
But Brad's from Illinois, though.
Oh, he's from Illinois. Okay.
Yeah, Brad Keena worked for
Largent. I remember Brad. I guess he's still with us.
Yeah, he is. He's in Chicago. He's on Facebook. We chat from time to time. We send messages back and forth.
Is he still involved in politics?
Not as much as he used to. He's now does. I want to say I think he's doing like a broker. Like he's like a broker, like a stockbroker.
All right.
Investment banker, something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I do talk to Diana frequently.
Okay.
She's back in the area because after she got married, I think they moved to Hawaii for a while.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but a lot of the old Free Congress crowd is still around. Jim's they renamed Free Congress, but Jim is head of Free Congress, whatever the name it is now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. All
right. So we've got.
They were in Alexandria for a while in Old Town. Have they moved?
I think now it's not. They more or less have moved. They might be even Richmond now.
Oh really? Okay. Yeah, I remember Free Congress.
And I think one of the great. One second. I spoke to BQ actually. She invited me to a book party. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And congratulations, St. Mary's County GOP. You guys put on a hell of a Lincoln Reagan dinner last night with standing room only. Their speaker was David Bossie. It was a great event. Yeah. And I tell you, we've got, I think, by the way, were you affected by any of those severe storms that were around?
No, not really.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was like, I tell you, they shut schools down early and everything. And I'm thinking like, why?
Yeah. It was windy. It wasn't so bad.
So it was, I mean, the rain came down for about 3 minutes really hard, or 4 minutes really hard.
Yeah.
And the wind was not nearly as bad as I thought it would be,
Yeah.
There is a tree in front of my house that it's not going anywhere, but every now and then it does kind of, I feel, is it going to fall?
Yeah, hopefully not. I'm sure it won't.
No, it's got the wide, it shouldn't, because it's pretty straight. And it's also leaning towards the street. So if it does fall, it's going to fall towards the street.
All right.
That might be a tree worth cutting down this year, actually.
Mm.
Conduct my war on trees. But it's, we've got what else is we had a bunch of other news items this week. We've got the Russia Ukraine war is still going on. I think Putin should take a message from what's been going on.
Yeah.
He needs to come and be an honest broker, frankly, and just end this war with Ukraine.
Yeah, I don't know how long he's been able to hold out this long, even, but I guess he can silence opposition.
Mhm.
So I guess it doesn't matter.
Hey, so what are your thoughts on this lawsuit against social media companies going on right now?
Well, you're not too familiar with it, but
It's basically a lawsuit right now happening. It involves. See, I don't blame social media. I know a lot of people or like social media is bad, this and that. But here is the point: is social media is not the problem. The problem is, frankly, when you're like a kid, your parents have a lot of control on what you can and cannot do. It's parenting, frankly, that needs to be, frankly, done. I mean, you can't. It's like blaming. It's like back when, remember when Tipper Gore was against violent rock lyrics and stuff like that. That's what this kind of reminds me of. Violence on TV. When I was a kid, the big thing was kids watching Rambo were allegedly more violent. But then there was a study that showed kids watching Roadrunner were more violent than watching Rambo or G.I. Joe. So I put that in that whole thing. We don't need, let parents be parents. My thoughts are on that. But what do you call it? So that's how I feel. It's like I don't think the government needs to be. We don't need courtrooms to do the parenting's job, the parents' job. Frankly.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I agree. But there's always going to be people that either want to sue or want a scapegoat, and so
I know it's like that. Remember the Parents Television Council?
Yeah,
they were part. I think they're still part of MRC, or they're like separated now from MRC. But I kind of felt the same way. I mean, yes, we don't want unfamily programmings during the family hour, but turn the TV off.
Yeah.
Somebody posted something I saw about how cable TV rates are going up, and my thoughts are, don't pay for cable.
Yeah, I agree.
You can digitally, you can get a lot more than just the typical. Like when we grew up, we had 4, 5, 7, 9, channel 20. You couldn't pick up the Baltimore station. We could pick up 45 and 54.
Yeah, me too. I don't do cable because I can get so much online. I don't think I need it.
And if you have a TCL TV, they have a TCL channel, and then you could get Pluto is free. And
I have MeTV.
Yeah, and on TCL you can get Fox News and local Foxes and stuff like that.
Okay.
You get the local NBC.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I do like it sometimes because I will watch like the local news in Sacramento, California, just to see how they're reporting stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But
I'm the same.
And then we've got you should try and come out to our state party convention, which is May 8th and 9th. Actually, you should try and come on out for that.
Yeah, I'd love to do it.
It's
and then
Rocky Gap, Maryland.
All right, yeah. Well, I'd love to do it. Yeah, that'd be good.
We're on the Western Maryland.
Well, I'm coming out to Maryland in one of the western counties I'm speaking, and that's going to be next month.
Oh, which county is that?
I think I forget. I think it's one of the furthest west. Not
Allegheny? Garrett?
One of those counties. I'll look, but I'm supposed to be speaking.
Oh, very cool.
So
if you're going to basically Luann Rydell and Todd Loxton, Todd's the mayor of Frostburg.
Yeah.
Great
Okay.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely say hi to Todd.
All right. Yeah. So I'll be doing that, and then I got postponed, but I'm later off in Cecil, Maryland. I'm speaking.
Cecil County? Yeah.
Yeah, Cecil County. They moved me to later on in the summer. But anyway, yeah, I'll be coming back that way. So that'll be good.
Good. And we should have I did briefly talk. I need to get you in touch with Maria over at the Leisure World Club.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I spoke, or not, I didn't speak, but I think I sent an email to someone there. And
Dennis?
I've spoken to the Central Baltimore GOP committee, Maria.
Mm-hmm.
I spoke there to that one group, but they met at the Raleigh Tavern or Raleigh.
Yeah, that's a club. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should go speak to the East County Club too. That's a really big club. They meet over in I guess that's Dundalk, maybe Essex, maybe Middle
I'd
River.
love to. Yeah, I'd love to if you got a contact there. But
yeah, Kathy Spiro. I think she is the president of that club right now.
Okay, do I know her? Did I
know
meet
her?
her?
You know her. You know her. She's the second vice chair of our party. You've met her before.
Okay. I met her. Okay.
I'll do an introduction to you guys. Again.
Well, if I already met her, I think you're right. Yeah, I think I've already met her. So.
I
didn't know she was there. I didn't know that was her club.
Yeah, that's her club. The East County Club is hers.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's basically, then you have, all the Republicans show up for that. Like the councilman, David Marks, he's there.
All right.
The delegates are all there.
All right, good.
Yeah. So it's a good club to go to.
Well, and if you want me up to speak about the referendum vote or something like that, and all the outside money,
that might be interesting. That might be an interesting topic, actually. Maybe have you speak at Pizza and Politics at some point.
Yeah, and the money coming in, I've been looking at the financial reports, and you've got outside money like $20 million, and the no side is like $500,000.
Yeah,
because
didn't Elon Musk give like $10 million for the other for?
I didn't see him on the list, maybe, but I was looking at financial reports, and the outsiders realize they can probably buy this because think about it: special election, your turnout's going to be low, and they're spending like $20 million to get it.
You've got all these California Democrats that are bankrolling this.
Oh yeah, they're a bunch.
I bet if you look at some of the names, they're going to be California assemblymen.
Well, there's a lady who's running in, of all places, Massachusetts for Congress or something, and I saw her. She gave like $25,000.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the heck?
Well, I'm surprised. I'm willing to bet Jamie Raskin's going to throw some money into that, as well will be other.
Well, I wrote a column where I said that I think it's totally unfair for outsiders to come in to pay to redraw our districts. We're the ones that have to live with these districts, these non-competitive districts.
True.
I think they really, outside money, I mean, there's no way to legally keep it out, I suppose, but I think that's wrong to impose that on people of the state.
I don't know if you've been, if you've seen any of the David Trone's latest commercials.
No.
He's got this one commercial saying, it's basically just flashing black and white pictures of Trump and ICE and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, can you be any more melodramatic,
Yeah.
It's like we're not living under the Third Reich here,
Well, he's a guy trying to buy a race, like he's like a Pritzker or like Bloomberg.
Yeah, or a Delaney, because Delaney's got a lot of money too. The sitting woman there, she's got a ton of money too.
But the thing about these wealthy people who spend a lot of money on races, they shouldn't complain about corporations spending a lot of money.
Yep. Corporations are people.
Huh?
Thank you. Corporations are people. Thank you, David Bossie, Citizens United. Yeah.
So they shouldn't complain then, because they're going to use their weight. They're going to use all their money to try to buy races. What the hell are they complaining about others trying to do that or corporations trying to do that?
Absolutely. Very true. Very true. You've got all these people that are watching, and it's like, and by the way, I saw the one commercial the Virginians are running. This is only temporary. So are you telling me after Trump isn't president, you're going to go back to you're going to redraw the lines the way they were supposed to be drawn?
Yeah, my 2 points on the temporary argument is Abigail Spanberger will say this is temporary. The thing is, she has no ability to say that because remember, the next time the districts have to be redrawn, the next
She's not going to be governor.
she won't be in power. So there's
Yep.
no way she can sit here and tell me it's going to be temporary. Secondly, once they create 5 seats for 5 new members of Congress, you really think they're going to draw their own members out of Congress?
Of course not.
Right.
Unless we have a Republican governor when we have redistricting, then it's a different ball game.
Yeah. The other thing I'd say about it, this notion of temporary, if something is good, why is it temporary? It's only temporary because you know it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
So you're saying you're selling me something saying, Dave, this is just temporary. Well, why would I buy it?
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
But we're coming up to final thoughts. So why don't you start, Dave? Final thoughts.
Well, I got my other podcast is up and I have another column up, so please check it out. And I'm enjoying the nicer weather. Finally, spring is almost sprung. And
Cherry blossoms are out.
Yeah, good. So I'm happy. But who knows? Maybe we get one more little punch of winter, one more taste of winter. I'm not sure.
Oh, next week we're supposed to drop down to the 50s. Tomorrow's going to be beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait.
As is the day before, the day after.
All right, good. But otherwise, doing okay. And I was sorry the U.S. lost the World Baseball Classic, the championship. So that was disappointing. And one bit of trivia, and this is Maryland. This involves Maryland as well, so I'll say it. I'm kind of a Civil War buff and a history buff, and I was watching this documentary, don't ask me why, on YouTube about the Booth conspiracy. And as you know, the Surratts were in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought Mary Surratt kind of got a bum rap and getting hung there. I didn't think she should have been hung.
We have a road in Gaithersburg called Surratt's Road.
Huh?
In Gaithersburg, we have a road named after Surratt Road.
Well, the wokesters might want to change that. Well, anyway, Mary Surratt got hung in that case. I didn't think it was fair. Well, I read the other day that there was a movie, 2010, about Mary Surratt and the Booth conspiracy and all. And the actress who was in that movie, Robin Wright, I think her name, was about the same size as Mary Surratt. And actually, for some of the scenes, wore the same dress that Mary Surratt wore. So I thought that's an interesting example of an actor getting into character. So,
but remember, the Surratts were all Democrats.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and so was Mudd.
As was John Wilkes Booth. As was Harry Mudd. Not Harry Mudd. That's the guy from Star Trek. Dr. Mudd.
Dr. Mudd. Well, Dr. Mudd actually, after he got out of prison, ran again for the Maryland legislature and won.
Oh yeah, I mean, the Democrats have controlled the Maryland legislature since 1898.
Well, the other thing to remember about Maryland is during the Civil War, it was a divided state. It was Lincoln that stopped the formal.
Yeah, they arrested the House because the vote was going to happen and they were going to vote to secede.
Right. So Lincoln shut them down. But so it's an interesting history. Maryland has an interesting history. But anyway, that's about it for me.
Okay, well, basically, we've got tomorrow. If many knew our friend Lee Annis, tomorrow at 1:00. There's the funeral over at the Methodist Church on Georgia Avenue tomorrow at 1:00. Lee has been a pillar of the community, a professor at Montgomery College, Rockville for years. He was head of the political science department or the humanities department. I think is what they call it there. And great guy. Come on out if you've got, come on out and pay your last respects to Lee. Great guy. So that's tomorrow. We've got coming up. There is a Lincoln Day dinner actually coming up on the 24th or something like that. And that is over in Western Maryland, and that is going to be in Flintstone. And great place. Welcome. Definitely go check out mcgopclub.com. We have it up on our calendar there. And we've got a Capitol Hill lunch coming up on the 17th of April. But that's about all I've got, and no more Shamrock Shakes until February 17th, 2027.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can still, if you really want that minty shake, you still go to Roy Rogers. They have that 12 months out of the year. You go to, I don't know, do you have cookouts in Northern Virginia at all?
Occasionally, I guess so.
No. The restaurant, it's a chain called Cookout.
I'm not sure, and I don't know it.
And they also have, there's one in Salisbury. They have, but they're like all over the South.
Okay.
Yeah. But they have a mint shake.
Okay. I don't.
So, yeah. And that's all I've got. Good night, everyone. We'll see everyone next week. Take care. Bye.
Have a good night. Take care.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go down to Masoni's, where Italian cuisine shines. Let's go down to Masoni's, we'll have a good